Hi everyone and welcome to this tutorial. I thought we'd do something a little bit Halloweeny with pumpkins and witch theme, and it's just a bit of fun really, and that's the kind of tutorials I offer my patrons as well. We have fun tutorials and then we have serious tutorials such as landscapes, portraits, you name it. And while I'm on the subject of Patreon, this is why I'm not here very often, so thanks to those who do subscribe, and if you're not subscribing please do, but I'm only here, say, once a month or maybe twice because I am so busy with other arty commitments. So yeah, unlike some artists, I don't have the time. But I'm hoping that the content I do give you and that you're enjoying, and maybe I can persuade you to jump onto my Patreon channel. So, are you ready to get Halloweeny, spooky, and pumpkin-y? Is that a word? It is now. Go grab your brushes and let's paint. So I thought we'd have a bit of fun with Halloween and a pumpkin, and I'm going for a kind of witchy vibe. So I've put a nice little black hat onto my drawing there, and it's quite a simple drawing. I've left a few shapes here just for the raggedy old teeth. It's just a basic outline, so not too many details. Colour-wise, I've got a cadmium red, I've got a cadmium yellow, I've got cobalt turquoise, and I've got a French ultramarine. I've got a size 8 brush, jug of water. Just off camera is my spray bottle. And I'm using a piece of Saunders Waterford. So let's start with nice fresh washes first. And it is important that you keep your washes nice and fresh. So I'm going to wet the whole thing here. I'm going to wet the hat into that round shape. I'm even going to take some of that wash out into a shadow area here. So it's nice and wet. So now we can practice working wet into wet, which is always a lot of fun and also kind of scary as well, isn't it? Okay, so I'll take some yellow. We'll have the light coming from this side here. So I'm really going to pop in some nice strong yellows here. Oh, look, I've got to dip the lines. What a shame. Look, maybe I should do it some more. Let's take that red and let's have a nice orange colour going on here. Maybe take some of that up into that half as well. And why not? You don't have to do splatters. I love doing them, but don't feel you have to. I'm going to introduce a bit of cool colour now as well. So I'm going to come in with this cobalt turquoise and I'm going to put some into that section there, look. And I don't mind if that runs into that shadow area. In fact, I'll encourage it to do so just by turning my paper on its side. Give it a bit more encouragement. And don't forget, you are in control. You know, I can keep moving my picture around and allow some of these washes to flow back into this area as well. So remember, you know, you are in control of your picture. I'm going to turn it this way and I'm going to pop in some nice turquoise into the hat, just into those shapes. I don't mind if some of that red runs into that as well. Go on then, I can't resist. Just a few little splatters there, look. Let's turn my picture the right way around. Now that seems really dark, doesn't it? But I think the thing to remember is that watercolour always dries lighter. So if it looks right when it's down, it's wrong. If it looks too dark, then it's probably right. Does that make sense? I'm going to give mine a spray. And I'm going to be very patient and I'm going to let it dry. This one is nice and dry now, and it means that I can start to add some extra details. And I'm going to work on shadow areas now. So I'm going to be putting shadow areas into the hat and into the little facial features as well. So I'm going to take the ultramarine blue for that. And I'm going to just knock it back a bit. I'll just put a little bit of red into that. I've got a bit of a purple blue, more blue than red. Just about to see that on my palette. And I'm going to darken the hat. So let's darken this side of the hat first. So let's run a nice shadow down like that. Oh, and then we come to the brim. So I'll leave a little gap there, look. I'll put some nice little shapes like that, just to suggest some curves and cleaning my brush, just shaking the excess water off and just softening and melting those lovely little linear marks into that dry wash. There we go. So she's got a nice little crooked hat on, and I'm going to darken this part of the hat as well. There we go, just nice dark value. Take that around and up into this area. And while it's still wet, I'm going to run a shadow across like that and down and connect that shadow into the shape of the pumpkin. Just soften that away a little bit. I think I'd like a few splatters in that. I'd keep adding some more little bits there, but I'm always very much aware that I don't want to overwork things. So I'm going to take that shadow colour now and I'm going to block it in here. It's a bit wet there, look, but it doesn't matter. A little triangle shape here and one here. And I'll put a little triangle for the nose. And I can just about see my drawing here, but I want to try and paint around those lovely ragged little teeth. So there's one tooth. There's another one. Just about see one here. Not too dark at this point. I will be coming in with the dark towards the end. And again, I'm going to take this shadow colour. And as I connected the hat to the pumpkin, I am now going to connect that shadow here into this shadow here. So connecting it with underneath and then pulling it out. So the hat has a connection and the shadow has a connection. I can just tilt my paper this way, look, and just pull that out. I can add a bit of red in there if I want to. It's my picture. Oh, there we go. Right, now I do have to be patient and let this completely dry. I am going to give it a little spritz just as it's drying off. It's still a little bit wet for that at the moment, but just when the sheen goes off the paper, I'll be giving mine a little spray with my spray bottle. So I've given mine a chance to dry and I'm ready to do a little bit more. I may add more splatters, I may not. But what I'm going to do now is, as usual with watercolour, we always work from light to dark. So they're my lightest washes, building up to darker washes, and now I'm going in with the final dark washes. So again, I'm going to use my ultramarine blue and just put a touch of red into that. But I want it to be darker than the wash I put down previously. So I'm going to come in against the hat this time again and just put a few more kind of suggestive squiggles on that left hand side, cleaning my brush, just pushing, softening, using the side of my brush just to create some more little darks. I'm going to darken underneath this section as well, just a bit more and maybe just a tad there, look. That's better, isn't it? I think she needs more of a point on her witchy hat, so I'm going to give her more of a point. And I'm also going to do that as well. Same wash, and with the red, a little bit of the blue. Let's just darken those eyes a little bit as well. So let's think about how we can create a darker shape within that dark shape. So we've already got a darker shape. What I want to do is give it just that extra little bit of dark just into that section. Let's do the other one, like a little triangle of darkness. Just clean my brush. Just soften that down slightly. Do the same with the nose. I'll just put a little triangle of dark just into that section. And I suppose this bit is the trickiest because we're going to have to paint around her teeth, don't we? Let's do that. Let's find a tooth. There's a lovely old tooth. And another rickety tooth. There we go. Clean my brush. Just soften away some of those marks. I don't need it to be totally dark. Oh, she's looking quite scary, isn't she? More shadow mixture. This time I'm going to run a secondary shadow underneath the pumpkin and just pull out that value and soften it away, and away with lots of water. Oh, I'd like to darken these a little bit more, but it's still a little bit wet at the moment, but we may as well try. There we go. I think I'd like some more splatters into mine as well. So I'm going to do that. A little bit of that red would be lovely, wouldn't it? Just to even kind of tapping that into that wet wash is kind of satisfying. Again, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. Bit of yellow, and you know what? We're done. That was fun, wasn't it? I hope you enjoyed it. If you're enjoying the tutorials, then don't forget to check out my Patreon channel. We do fun paintings like this, but we also do quite serious paintings, landscapes, florals, people, lots and lots of different subject matter. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care.